In a world where clout is currency, where the louder someone is online, the more attention they seem to get, it's easy to forget one thing: the internet never forgets. And when creators start acting like the rules don't apply to them, someone's always watching. That someone? PewDiePie. He's not just the OG YouTuber or the guy who turned memes into a career. He's the mirror that influencers can't avoid. And when that mirror reflects entitlement, hypocrisy, or pure cringe, things get uncomfortable. This isn't just about drama. It's about moments when arrogant influencers pushed too far and got humbled, not with rage, not with toxicity, but with wit, receipts, and more calm destruction than a quiet roast session in a library. And trust this, it all started with someone who once thought the rules didn't apply to her. At first glance, Alinity was just another rising Twitch star. On the surface, she was bubbly, animated, and had all the energy a streamer needed. But behind the screen, she wasn't exactly following the same playbook as everyone else. Before online drama was even a trend, Alinity was already making waves for all the wrong reasons. Tossing her cat over her shoulder during a live stream like it was part of the content, or getting away with a wardrobe malfunction on Twitch that mysteriously led to no consequences. Most streamers who slipped up even once were getting handed 24-hour bans like it was standard procedure. But somehow, Alinity, she just walked past it all. She even joked about it. Twitch apparently was giving her the golden pass, and when people started raising eyebrows, she doubled down. That smug confidence of someone who knew the system wasn't built to stop her. But that bubble, it didn't last, because PewDiePie came across her stream in one of his eye-tracking videos and made a joke. Just a joke, but not one she liked. He dropped a quick line, frustrated, probably after seeing enough streamers bending the rules, saying, "Stupid Twitch thoughts. I just feel like they win over me, okay? And they're not going to win over me." It was salty, it was sharp, and it wasn't taken lightly. Alinity didn't just brush it off. She went full reaction mode. Suddenly, she wasn't just calling it rude, she was calling for copyright strikes. On PewDiePie's video, "Yo, can we copy strike PewDiePie's latest video like right now?" she said on stream, all smiles. He called us Twitch thoughts. What seemed like a reaction quickly turned into a threat. But here's where things get dark. Because she wasn't joking. She actually had backup. Behind the scenes, Alinity was working with a group called Collab DRM. Not a group trying to keep content fair, but a company filing copyright strikes on anything that mentioned her name, even videos fully protected under fair use. Commentary, reactions, memes. They were all getting flagged. It didn't matter if it was a 2-second clip or an entire breakdown video with zero malice. If her face appeared, it was enough to trigger a takedown. Channels were losing monetization overnight. Appeals were getting denied before they even finished processing. The system was being used like a weapon, and Alinity had the blueprint. It wasn't just about protecting content anymore. It was about silencing criticism. And the message she sent was clear: say something I don't like, and you're gone. Some creators even admitted to avoiding her name entirely in videos just to stay safe. The chilling effect was real. People weren't just mad, they were scared. And the deeper creators looked into it, the more they realized it wasn't just Alinity filing these strikes manually. Collab DRM had an automated system, one that could scan and flag content en masse. Entire playlists were being wiped out, and yet, on her stream, she smiled about it, like it was a game. She joked about the payouts, called it easy money, as if flagging content was just another hustle. There was no remorse, no hesitation, just smug confidence that the platform would keep letting it happen. And the worst part? She didn't even try to hide it. She bragged, straight up told her audience she made $700 last month just from copy strike hitting people. At that point, the internet was furious. Small creators were terrified. If she could take down PewDiePie's content, what chance did they have? But Felix didn't stay silent. When he finally responded, it was in the most unexpected way, not with rage, but with reflection. He said the word was a joke, maybe not the best one, and if it hurt, he was sorry. No sarcasm, just a real apology. Then came the shift. He pivoted from his own comment to the bigger issue, Alinity's entitlement. The fact that she'd show inappropriate content on stream, then act like it was Twitch's fault. click full screen with your backside on camera, then blame the viewers for noticing? That was her logic. He wasn't having it. He reminded her, and everyone watching, that abusing copyright laws isn't just shady. It's illegal, not platform policy illegal, actual court of law illegal. And he didn't stop there. PewDiePie highlighted how Alinity had even bragged about committing marriage fraud just to move to Canada. It was all on record. Her words, her stream, no editing, just confession-level honesty. Oh yeah, I married a Canadian just so I could move here. Then I divorced him. And somehow, Twitch still had her back. She admitted on stream that even when she got drunk, slipped up, had clips go viral for the wrong reasons, Twitch would message her privately and say, "Hey, it's okay. Just delete the clip, we're cool, no suspensions, not even a slap on the wrist." And that, right there, was the real problem. It wasn't just her behavior, it was that she was never held accountable for it. PewDiePie laid it out clean, Twitch was playing favorites, and Alinity knew it. She even said it, out loud. She spoke about it like it was just another perk of being popular, like dodging consequences was just part of the package. For years, she'd streamed with zero real penalties, despite doing things that would have gotten anyone else banned on the spot. And it wasn't just speculation. Her own clips were proof. She laughed about showing too much on camera, bragged about never getting a suspension, told stories about Twitch messaging her like a friend, not a moderator. While others were getting wiped off the platform for minor slip-ups, Alinity was out here deleting clips and moving on like nothing happened. That kind of privilege didn't sit right with anyone, especially when the platform preached fairness but practiced favoritism. People started comparing bans across creators and noticing a pattern. And guess who was always the exception? That's why when PewDiePie pulled back the curtain, it hit different. It wasn't just a call-out, it was a reality check. And just like that, the internet turned. Her credibility evaporated. And when she tried to clap back, claiming PewDiePie was sexist, toxic, and setting a bad example for young fans, no one bought it. The timing was off. The narrative didn't land. People had seen too much, remembered too clearly. The post got deleted faster than the clip of her cat going airborne. And that was it. The damage was done. PewDiePie didn't even need to drag it out. The exposure alone humbled her. Publicly, permanently. Now, you'd think the internet would have learned. You'd think after that, no one would dare hit that copyright strike button again. But then came Pokimane. At the time, Pokimane was Twitch royalty, huge following, wholesome vibes, and a fan base that saw her as the internet's big sister. But behind that bubbly exterior, things weren't as squeaky clean. She started getting sensitive, not just to criticism, but to anyone daring to talk about her online. If a creator criticized her, she'd contact their sponsors. If a fan complained about the price of her cookie merch, she'd mock them on stream. If you're a broke boy, just say so. Yep, that was the vibe. Then came the copyright strikes. Pokimane started taking down videos that included clips or screenshots of her, even when they were part of fair use. One of her infamous lines, "I'm so sorry that it takes you a lot of time to steal other people's content. I'll be taking down some of your videos." And that was rich. Because her own streams, they were just her reacting to other people's content for hours. That's the irony. And the internet noticed when she took down YouTuber Bolex's video, which was just a factual recap of her feud with Keemstar using tweets and archived clips. People were done. It wasn't a hit piece. It wasn't harassment. It was literally just a timeline. But Pokimane saw it and said, "Nope, strike." Then came the moment. PewDiePie posted a video called "Stop Doing This." He didn't rage. He didn't insult. He just explained, calmly and clearly, why creators weaponizing copyright was dangerous. He understood she might have felt attacked. He even empathized a little. But then he made the real point. Trying to hide drama by erasing videos only draws more attention to it. It's the Streisand effect. The more you try to silence something, the more it spreads. He also pointed out the hypocrisy. Content creators who build their brands off of reacting to others shouldn't be the ones trying to shut down reactions to themselves. That hit. And for once, Pokimane actually listened. She responded publicly, admitted she was wrong, said that even though she legally could take the video down, morally, it was the wrong move. And just like that, respect came back. PewDiePie didn't cancel her. He corrected her, with humor, facts, and clarity. And she owned up to it. That was rare. But the next influencer wasn't so open to correction. Lily Singh, known to the world as Superwoman, wasn't just a creator. She was a movement. South Asian woman, viral videos, late-night show. She had made it, broke barriers, landed on billboards, even ended up on primetime. But success has a strange way of changing how someone views criticism. When you rise that fast, it's easy to lose sight of what the audience actually connects with. And when the feedback starts shifting from praise to pushback, some creators adapt. Others dig in. When Forbes dropped their list of top YouTubers in 2018, Lily wasn't on it. Not a single woman was, and she was furious. She jumped on Twitter, expressing her disappointment, said 2 years ago it was nearly even between men and women. Last year, at least she made the cut. But this year, nothing. She wasn't just sad about it, she called it concerning, even compared it to the old-school industries the internet claimed to be better than. She framed it as a step backward, not just for her, but for women creators everywhere. It was passionate, it was bold, and for some, it was inspiring. But people pushed back, because the list wasn't about popularity. It was based on revenue, not views, not vibes, just dollars. Cold, hard numbers, and PewDiePie saw the whole thing. Instead of ignoring it, he addressed it, with jokes, of course. But beneath the sarcasm was a serious point. He didn't dismiss the conversation, he just redirected it, because blaming the algorithm or the audience didn't change the facts. And when creators who were already massively successful start crying inequality over income rankings, it makes people roll their eyes, especially when the rest of the platform is still grinding just to break even. He suggested that if Lily wanted to earn more, maybe launch a mental health campaign and follow it up by selling merch like, "Hey guys, I'm burnout, buy my hustle hoodie." That joke cut, because it wasn't just a dig, it was a reflection of how creators often monetize struggle, and how Lily wasn't just expressing frustration, she was playing a card. Then came the line that echoed across comment sections. "If you start complaining about this, you literally just sound like a crybaby and an idiot," which you are, Lily Singh. Just in case you weren't sure, it was brutal. But it wasn't random. PewDiePie was reacting to someone who had everything: a show, a book, sponsorships, still playing victim when the numbers didn't match. It wasn't about gatekeeping or denying her success. It was about accountability, about recognizing when someone starts shifting blame outward instead of reflecting inward. At that level of fame, audiences expect more, not performative outrage when things don't go your way. And the way Lily leaned into the gender angle felt, to many, like a misfire. It wasn't that people didn't support equality, they just didn't want it used as a shield against valid criticism. Her content had changed, her tone had changed. The internet could feel it. She wasn't the underdog anymore, and trying to wear that identity again didn't feel authentic. Still, Lily didn't take the silence as a dismissal. She tried to open a dialogue, reached out, asked to talk it out. But PewDiePie didn't bite. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe he just knew the conversation wouldn't go anywhere. Either way, he let the moment pass, until another one showed up. When clips from her role in Fahrenheit 451 started making the rounds, people weren't celebrating her acting debut. They were confused, awkward deliveries, forced lines. It didn't help that the internet has zero chill when it comes to performances that miss. And PewDiePie? He couldn't resist. He dropped the line like it was a casual observation, called her the live-action version of Big Chungus. No build-up, no need for explanation. The internet got it instantly. It wasn't just a roast, it was cultural shorthand for "this ain't it." That roast didn't need a follow-up. The internet did the rest. And just like that, another influencer got humbled. Not by scandal, but by a dose of reality wrapped in humor and facts. The thing is, when someone builds their brand on being untouchable, all it takes is one mirror held up the right way to remind them they're not above criticism. And PewDiePie had one more mirror to lift. But this time, it wasn't a washed-up creator clinging to fame. This was KSI, at the height of his power. Now, KSI wasn't just another YouTuber, he was the whole package. He boxed, rapped, ran businesses, started YouTube beefs like they were side quests, and turned every controversy into a marketing campaign. He knew how to stay relevant, And not just relevant, dominant. His brand was built on confidence, sometimes crossing into arrogance, but always backed by numbers. Millions of views, sold-out fights, charting music. He moved like a mogul, spoke like a showman, and carried himself like the king of the internet. But with relevance comes ego. And when his boxing match with Logan Paul took over YouTube, the drama reached an all-time high. It wasn't just a fight, it was a global spectacle. Press conferences turned into insults. Trash talk turned into chants. Fans turned into mobs. The pre-fight promos looked more like rap battles than sports events. It wasn't about athletic skill, it was about narrative. Who could sell the moment harder? And KSI was loving every second. He leaned into the chaos, stirred the pot with confidence, got under Logan's skin with every smirk and diss, even had the crowd shouting personal jabs at Logan's ex as if it was part of the pre-fight warm-up. It was messy, calculated, and completely engineered for maximum clicks. Every insult became a headline. Every clip became a meme. And KSI stood in the center like a chaos conductor, playing it all to his advantage, until PewDiePie stepped in. To him, the whole fight felt fake. Two creators rehearsing beef for clicks, and when KSI got on stage and led a crowd into chanting something explicit about Logan's ex, it crossed a line. PewDiePie responded the only way he knew how. No screaming, no tweet threads, just a simple, direct takedown. KSI's a scumbag, he said. Actually, you're both scumbags. No sugarcoating, no fake neutrality, just a reminder that some things are bigger than clicks. And KSI? He couldn't take it. He fired back, pulled up PewDiePie's past controversies, trying to flip the spotlight back onto him, tried to reignite old headlines, like PewDiePie versus T-Series, as if that was still relevant, brought up decade-old drama like it was fresh tea, hoping to strike a nerve, dug into old clips, pulled out tired accusations, and tried to reframe the conversation in a way that made him look like the victim. But the audience had moved on. Those moments were already dissected, addressed, and put to rest. Bringing them back felt more like reaching than roasting. KSI even tried to shift the conversation to morality, painting PewDiePie as the villain in a story that had already been resolved. It didn't stick, because the moment was gone. The crowd wasn't buying it. People weren't shocked. They were bored. The internet has a sharp radar for forced drama, and this felt forced. Manufactured, out of sync with where the conversation was going. And when PewDiePie didn't respond, KSI looked less like a rival, and more like someone desperate to keep the beef alive. It was like shouting into a void, hoping for an echo that never came. And that silence? It spoke louder than anything else. PewDiePie didn't need to clap back. By not engaging, he took away the spotlight KSI was trying to steal. And when no one's watching, the show stops being a show and starts looking like a one-man rant. Sometimes, silence humbles louder voices better than any roast could. Still, the wildest clash wasn't with someone controversial. It wasn't even with someone who made direct enemies. It was with the most unpredictable influencer the platform had ever seen, Trisha Paytas. Trisha was chaos in human form. One day she's crying on her kitchen floor, the next she's calling dogs basically human. Her content blurred the line between real and performance, and for the longest time, people just accepted it, until Nikocado Avocado came along. He made a heartfelt video, playing the piano, covering one of Trisha's songs, praising her, calling her an inspiration. She responded warmly, promised to collaborate if he ever came to LA. So he did. He flew from Colombia to Los Angeles just to meet her, and she ghosted him. He waited, he reached out, she didn't reply. And when he finally spoke out about it, she pretended like she barely even knew who he was. She denied making any promises, then doubled down in interviews, laughing it off, saying she wasn't sorry. And that's when PewDiePie stepped in, not just to clown the situation, but to defend Nikocado. On his Cringe Tuesday segment, he laid it all out. Liar, manipulator, playing victim, aggressive, abusive. He didn't dance around it. Trisha invited someone, gave them hope, then ignored them when it didn't benefit her. And when she got called out, she tried to rewrite the story. But he didn't stop there. He said what everyone else was thinking, that Trisha played dumb on purpose to get attention, that her dumb blonde persona wasn't accidental, it was a content strategy. And honestly, he had the receipts. Like when she said, "Dogs are mammals, right? They're humans." Or, no, they're not human, they're part of the animal kingdom that God created. Exactly. And when she went off on Jesus in the same breath, it was a full internet fever dream. PewDiePie just paused and said, "That is an amazing sentence." And to really drive the point home, he said, "Sure, she might have a few likable qualities." Then couldn't name any. Not one. It was that bad. But again, it wasn't personal. It wasn't a hate campaign. It was the kind of exposure that didn't need drama to work, just a spotlight on the truth. And the final blow? Trisha started ranting about PewDiePie afterward. Still, to this day, PewDiePie, fucked all the way off. Your humor sucks, and you should stick to playing video games. Living rent-free in someone's head is one thing. Living there on loop? That's another level. But maybe the most poetic part of all these moments isn't just that PewDiePie called people out, it's how he did it. He didn't scream. He didn't turn his channel into a cancel machine. He just used logic, sarcasm, and timing. Every single time, he made creators think. He made viewers reflect. He reminded the internet that sometimes the most powerful way to hold people accountable isn't by screaming louder, it's by showing the mirror and letting the reflection speak for itself. Because in a world where influencers constantly act like the main character, where attention is confused for credibility, and where power often comes without responsibility, someone's got to ask the uncomfortable questions. And when they don't listen, well, they just might end up in a PewDiePie video. If you're still watching, it probably means the truth hit harder than expected. But hey, that's the power of accountability. So if you found this breakdown eye-opening, if you're tired of the drama and just want creators to do better, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this again.